What's up, guys? Tonight I'm here again with my lovely guest, Miss Kellie Sweat. Make sure you guys check out the interview we just did, and then you can find out a little bit about her, what she does. But tonight we're going to be talking about something different. We're going to be talking about purpose and how sometimes your purpose requires you to leave things that no longer serve you. Have you ever felt that way, Kellie?
Definitely. I think as you kind of navigate life, we probably hit these spaces a few times, right? Where depending on what season of life you're in, whether you get married, you have children,
Right.
you kind of shift and you have to figure out what you're going to hold on to and what you're going to let go of.
Facts. And oftentimes when you start letting go of things, people start to leave your life. And I say that in the way of saying that oftentimes the things that you used to do, when you stop doing those things, certain people are attached to you for doing those things, if that makes sense. If you were one to party, go out to the club, you were one to drink, and your Saturday nights were going to be at a party, a club. When you stop doing that, sometimes you lose the people that you used to do that with. And sometimes that comes with a negative connotation that, oh, this person's changed. This person think they too good. But it's just growth. Oftentimes it's just growth, and it's part of
Yeah.
growth. People should be able to see that you're growing and accept you. Okay, they're trying to do something better. And if they can't, you're going to end up losing them and leaving them in the wayside. Again, I'm a testament to that because a lot of people know me from back in the day when I was out there drinking, partying. I don't do any of that. I don't even try to drink around because I got my boys. I don't like to be not aware of what's going on because I'm tipsy. But it's heavily promoted that that's the cool thing to do. And I like to tell my young people that you need to, slow down or watch what you're doing. But it's kind of hard when you were in the same boat doing the same thing, right? Have you ever felt like that?
I have. And I think we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier too. I think often moving into different environments. So sometimes leaving those friends or you have to like literally go somewhere else. And it's not always moving, but it may just be putting yourself in other spaces or the spaces that you now want to be in. Because if we could be honest, like a lot of times when you leave people behind, not only do you get that backlash of, oh, you think you this, you think you that, you also feel lonely a lot of the times because you don't have that group, right? So that's a lot of times why people end up going back, not because they want to do what they were doing, but often they go back so they can still have community. Because a lot of us just yearn that.
Well, how do you bring up a great point. Sometimes you just you go back because you need someone to be on your level, like the level you just left. How do you find new circles? Like, what's a good avenue to do that?
I think, again, like, let's say, just use an example. Like, I really value community. I really value education. So I put myself in spaces around those type of people. So whether it's a conference, whether I'm at an event where people like that go to. So it could be like a meet and greet or going to a coffee shop and just sparking a conversation with somebody or going to a workshop or training that's centered around topics that I enjoy, or whether that be something to do with mental health. Like other people that are interested in the same things as you are going to be in those spaces and just start. It's almost like networking. Like you start putting yourself in spaces with people who you want to be around. So if I want to be, like a pilot, I'm going to start hanging out, where those type of people are.
Yeah, great analogy. So if you want to level up, you should go around the crowd you want to be like. You start elevating or you start going through that transition phase. Sometimes it can be lonely and you're looking for your people, right? What do you do about the people that, you were real friends with? For example, if and this is a great question. So if you used to hang with certain people and let's say they're cheaters or something like that, right? Let's say I'm getting married, right? But all your friends that they known cheaters. Do you stop hanging around your friends? I would say, and you can say what you want after this, but I would say yes. Leave them alone. Leave them alone because you're gonna end up in a situation where you're gonna damage what you're trying to do if you still keep those people in your life, right? What about you? What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. Think you at the end of the day, and it's a quote and I can't think of it right now, but it says something like you are a sum of the people around you.
Yeah,
So you really do become who you hang around. So whether you
yeah,
want to do it or not, they influence you, you know. So I think depending on how strong you are, for some people you may stay connected to, but not closely. So
mm-hmm,
when I see you, we're cordial. I might call you every couple months to check in, see how you doing, because maybe I have something that I need to pour into you. But you got to be honest with yourself. Am I strong enough to do that?
mm-hmm,
Because if you're
mm-hmm,
not, yeah, completely disconnect. But if it's something pulling you or tugging you, saying, okay, stay connected to this person. Don't stay close to them, but stay connected enough to do check-ins and then just hit them up like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're doing good. Or, send them something positive. Do that. But if you know that if you stay connected, it's going to pull you back in, you got to be honest with yourself about where you are and if you can handle that or not.
yeah. Yeah, I get an argument a lot of times at work with people because I told someone that birds of a feather flock together. So,
True.
and I said it in the lens of a guy. All right, I'm a guy, and you know I'm looking for females or something. If I'm if I see this group of females and I know that this one is, we're gonna say promiscuous. This one is. Your idea about the group of girls you just saw is gonna be they're all promiscuous. So, like you said, you should, I would say, remove yourself from that friend group if you don't want to get looked at a certain way. And I also say this because I saw a clip the other day too. It was young boys walking down the street, right? Young boys walking down the street. It was in their teens, and there's about five of them walking down the street. Police pull up on them, right? Police pull up on them, and one of them, just one of them, said something to the police officer they didn't like F you, police. What happened to all of them? They got chased. One of them it was one of those videos that, are sometimes graphic, but the young man got chased, head pushed into the concrete, and then he wasn't even the one that said it. But because he
Wow.
was with the friend group, the people he was around, and that's what happened to him. So I do think sometimes you got to remove yourself from situations when you're trying to elevate because the people you're around could get you in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually recently had that conversation with my daughter about being around certain people because exactly what you just said, you get grouped into it. And that,
Mm-hmm.
even though I know a lot of times kids don't always think, and some adults, we don't always think forward. Like once you get characterized or have a certain stigma, it's hard to get out of it. So if you hang around troublemakers in school, even if you're not a troublemaker, you're going to be labeled as that. And that can stop
Mm-hmm.
opportunities in the future because people talk. So if one teacher says, Kristen is a troublemaker, and they pass that to the next person, now you're stopping opportunities for yourself, whether you did something or not, because you're hanging around people that are participating in that. So the assumption, like you just said, is if one or two or three of y'all doing it, all of you do it. And then I think it works the opposite way as well. Like if you're hanging around positive people and you're hanging around people who are doing things and making things move and shake,
Mm-hmm.
you end up you end up in places and connecting with people off the strength of your circle. Like your network is really your net worth. So whether that goes up or down is up to you, depending on who you place around you. But it's all in the choices that we make of who to keep around us and who to, let go of. Not just thinking about now, but thinking about later too. So I think that's a great point that you made for sure.
Facts. It's something I be trying to get through to my boys now, so I don't have to get it to them later because I know as a youth, I was heavily influenced by the people I was around. I did what they did, and then you get to the situation where you think that's cool because, everybody else is doing it. Everybody, you getting known for being certain type of way, chump or whatever. But in today's time where young men get handled like they get handled in today's time, I don't think it's a good thing to do, hang around the wrong crowd. I remember, I don't know, you might remember, but I remember back in the day when I think Dorchester had got a curfew, right? They ain't got a curfew in Franklin. We from Franklin. So I remember when Dorchester got a curfew, like we were just having fun. We made it fun to be out there when we weren't supposed to be out there and run from the cops. Like, I don't know what was in my head that say that was cool. It was a bunch of times we would walk down the street, like the video clip that I had saw, and I'm like, dang, that could have been me on the floor right there with my face pushed in the concrete, bloody, just because I was just walking. So I try to, like I said, see forward and get things out there for the youth. Like I said, my son, but anybody watching, to really pay attention to your crowds you hang around and think about these things now so you don't end up on a viral clip. You know, we see them so much nowadays, but the thing that we want to do or teach our kids is to not be on that viral clip. Even though I think that officer did something wrong and he ended up, of course he did something wrong, but he ended up getting fired. But I would like to teach anybody that know me, like my family, to not be in that situation at all. So that's why I like to say sometimes you got to elevate yourself, and that might require losing some of the people that are around you right now that you think, you know, are on your level. Sometimes you got to elevate yourself so you don't get labeled. Yeah, I think I hope I ain't do too many circles around that right there.
No, it made sense. It made me think about how, like you said, you want to do it for your sons and for anybody else. And it takes me back again to like how important it is to have mentors and people who are older than you,
Yes.
and more experienced than you to pour into you. Because if we could be honest, you're talking about Dorchester. I used to be in suburban, all types of places.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And but the thing for me is I also, we got to have some type of balance. So having people, because if we could be completely honest, we didn't always want to listen to our parents, like our moms, our grandmas. Like they tell us stuff, and it's like
It's
whatever.
natural. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes having another voice of someone that you trust, whether it be a coach, that's why me and you kind of talk offline. We're kind of talking about sports and stuff. Having the coach in your kids' lives, having other people that they look up to. Sometimes they receive information from them different than how they receive it from their parents. Because your parents are just your parents, like whatever.
Yeah.
They always listen to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I see it all the time. My son go to karate and the stuff I'm telling him to do. He like, he out there with the karate coach. He like, yes, sir. I'm like, hold on, what is going on here?
Right. Like how you
He like, yes, sir. I'm
up
like,
with
what's
that?
going on here? So I definitely see exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes parents can fuss at them or try to give them knowledge, but it depends on who it's coming from.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that'll reinforce, discipline. So they may get some life lessons from those people that they won't always receive from us. But as long as they're getting it from
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, because it's necessary so that they don't end up, like you said, on those clips, going viral in situations where they get hurt or they get a record when this all could have been
Facts.
avoided.
Facts. Because at the end of the day, survival is number one. Anything can quickly go left and you could leave here. Try to do everything that's best for your survival. And like I said, your crowd, your circle plays a big part in that. So that's the only message I wanted to come up here and share with you guys today. Make sure you're paying attention to your circle. And if you feel it's time to elevate for your purpose, sometimes you gotta shed people, and that's okay. Don't take it with a grain of salt. It just means you about to elevate to a different area and meet new people, as Kellie was saying.
Just remember your network really is your net worth. So evaluate who's around you because that's what helps propel you forward, and help you continue to grow. Yeah, I agree 100%.
All right. And thank y'all for checking us out. Make sure y'all come back. We got plenty more to talk about. Peace.
See you.